Welcome to Your Good News, where good news is king. Some stories here will make you laugh, others will make you cry at the grace of our fellow humans, and others will inspire you. Let's start off, though, with something a little bit silly. It is a beef between two hot chicken franchises here in the metro. A massive billboard is at the center of it all. Ken Erdahl takes a closer look.
6 years after the Nashville Coop food truck helped introduce hot chicken to the Twin Cities masses, it's become a hot commodity. And outside one of the 4 Coop restaurants the chain's added in recent years, a national competitor, Dave's Hot Chicken, just turned up the heat, leasing up the nearest billboard to promote its newest location.
I was like, wow, that's kind of bold.
Spicy.
Yeah, that's spicy, right, yeah. This one has a couple drinks with it. Just give me 1 second.
Scott Olson has managed the Richfield location since it opened 2 years ago, but he left it to the owners to fire back.
Dave's Hot Chicken? Now open? That's crazy. You can buy a billboard, but you can't buy taste. We're Nashville Coop, locally owned and actually seasoned. When a billion-dollar chain spends thousands on a giant billboard right over our roof, we just want to say thanks for the giant arrow pointing straight to our door.
Dave's Hot Chicken has certainly taken over the country after starting in California a few years ago, but the Minnesota franchises are owned locally by the Humphreys family, including former NBA player Chris Humphreys and his cousin Alex, who sent a statement to us today saying the sign had nothing to do with who was in the building. The billboard was simply about visibility, he said. It's a high-traffic corridor and the most strategic and economical option that was available to us. Nothing beyond that.
I don't mind because it's actually brought us in quite a bit of business.
In fact, Scott says some customers tell him they came in direct response
Here you go.
to the billboard.
I'll bring it out when it's ready. Thank you. And they're supporting local and, they like the small business, so it's been good for us.
But he says they also seem to be benefiting a little more indirectly.
It makes them notice us. People are seeing the sign and then they're seeing us right next to it. Then they're coming in here.
Just jumped out at you.
That's the case for friends Tori Stahl and Brian Parks.
I had Minnesota nice.
The first-time customers were drawn in by the billboard, but didn't realize it was for a different restaurant.
So we seen it, but we didn't read it.
So you may get customers that either want them or want this coming here, right? So it's not bad.
Certainly not, especially if they make a good first impression.
Super tender.
The food's good.
Thank you much, sir. If you have a good product, people are gonna like it and they're gonna enjoy it and come back.
No beef.
No. It's good for us. It makes people talk.
Another hot chicken chain called Hangry Joe's recently left the Twin Cities, but these two are still growing. Dave's Hot Chicken will add another 4 locations this year, and Nashville Coop soon to open a 5th spot in the Twin Cities. Well, keeping with the food and beverage theme, a brewery in downtown Willmar is serving up not only beer, but community space. Heidi Wigdahl takes us to Intuition Brewing in this week's Behind the Business.
In downtown Willmar, Intuition
How's it going?
got Liz Heimer and Michael Larson this far. Their brewery opened in December 2023.
I met Liz while I was brewing at Shell's in New Ulm and always kind of wanted to make it back to this area.
Then a brewery already in this space was set to move.
Pitched her the idea of us taking this over. She said yes, a little too quick for my comfort.
That's how Intuition got its name, of this gut feeling that this was going to work, this was going to happen.
First came the beer brewed on site.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Then the customers.
We really enjoy it. It's a place the whole family comes to.
But then came something you can't contain.
And it really naturally evolved into what can we do to support the community.
From events like Barntoberfest benefiting the Barn Theater to community voices that platforms nonprofits doing good.
We didn't intend to do it this way, but our brand became a community brand of if people are thinking of community, they're thinking of Intuition, which we feel really proud of.
One of their proudest moments helping bring pride back to Willmar in 2024 after a 15-year hiatus, and with the help
it's really welcoming
of their community partners.
I mean, I've been coming here for years.
Our tagline is over on our wall there. It says, "We're not for everyone, but everyone is welcome."
It's part of their vision for the future, still following their intuition.
I would like to see downtown growing a little more, just get a couple more businesses down here.
I want to see more pride grow within our community, feeling like, yes, that's my community. They're doing that, and there's a space for everyone there.
In Willmar, Heidi Wigdahl, KARE 11 News.
Intuition Brewing recently held an event for the Wilmer Community Closet, a nonprofit that provides free clothes and shoes to individuals and families in that area. That event raised over $800. And now to a different kind of brew. A new coffee shop opening just within the last several weeks is serving up more than just a cup of joe. Java Jack's may sound like just another creative coffee house name, but as Boyd Hupert found out, the story behind the shop across the border in Wisconsin goes much deeper.
Sometimes before the sun rises, grief dawns on us. 200 dawns have lifted the sky over Baldwin, Wisconsin since the world darkened. For Laura Ritchie.
It's Jack's birthday today.
There's nothing left to do.
He would have been 36.
Jack Ritchie and his big sister grew up the tightest of siblings.
We wanted to buy land together.
Land, so they could build houses next to each other.
He was the closest person to me.
It's all your pleasure, all your pain.
Jack was delivering DoorDash a few hours before sunrise, October 1st, last year.
We have breaking news this morning. First responders are at the scene of a serious crash in Eau Claire.
That SUV being driven by an alleged drunk driver fleeing police with his lights off slammed into Jack's compact car. Now, before the sun comes up and after.
It's almost like your day is kind of filtered by this pain, of this very important person not being there anymore for anything.
Filter in more ways than one.
Java Jack's. He loved coffee.
Good morning.
Today, on Jack's birthday,
It's our grand opening.
Java Jack's is born.
Thanks for coming in.
Laura tried going back to her office job.
Hi.
But too much had changed. In December, she bought the building. Then Laura brought in Liz Hoyt,
Hello.
Jack's former girlfriend, as her manager.
The mission is to share Jack's memory.
Lovingly, they decorated the shop with pictures of Jack and the places he loved. Guitar music is a must. Jack's 3 favorite instruments hang on the walls.
Still being able to share his story, his words, his music. I just think that's so important.
And we got up at 4 a.m. to be here.
Jake Nelson and kids Manly, Emmett, and Olivia drove an hour from Barron.
That's Jack and that's me.
It's what you do for your best friend since 3rd grade, your best man, and the godfather of your firstborn.
Well, I came here because I wanted to be the first customer so I could give her first dollar.
Okay, thanks so much.
Laura plans to donate a portion of her profits to groups supporting the victims of drunk drivers and their families.
Beautiful memories.
And host a grief support group here.
It's the guitar-shaped spoon. Isn't that cool? Happy birthday to Jack. Thank you so much.
Having felt the love, she wants to share it.
Chocolate chip cookies.
As they cook and clean, Jack will never be far away.
Always watching over us.
Well, I guess got home.
At dawn and all day.
He's not forgotten, that's for sure.
Boyd Hupert, KARE 11 News, Baldwin, Wisconsin.
The man accused of driving drunk and killing Jack is awaiting trial in Eau Claire County. Java Jack's is open for coffee and breakfast and lunch as well, Thursday through Monday. If you'd like more information, you will find a link on the print version of this story at KARE11.com. Still ahead, some playoff season fun and the community connection between the teams, the players, and the people. Welcome back. Let's talk playoffs. Well, there are still some playoffs to talk about. You get this. Well, recognize this little cutie. It's Rhett, a 3-year-old Wolves superfan who knows more about basketball than most adults. We did feature him a few weeks ago, and the love just keeps coming his way. He was just gifted this custom jacket by a local artist. Morgan Wolf had the chance to meet that artist and hear about how she's combining two of her passions, painting and sports.
All right.
This painting den is where Timberwolves sports culture finds its way onto a canvas.
I'm like a painting machine. I can paint for hours.
Bethany Nelson creates custom pieces meant not just to be seen, but lived in.
Everything by hand.
The self-taught artist doesn't use stencils, airbrush, or pens.
And if I make a mistake, I just figure out how to fix it.
And she doesn't give a preview to customers.
I just go for it and then surprise them at the end. So
going for it has led to her painting more than 500 jean jackets in 2 years for all sorts of occasions, concerts, cheer competitions, and even for some coaches' wives.
I just did some custom jeans for Mike Nori's wife, Melissa. She's worn them to the playoffs, and every game she's worn them, we've won. So they're kind of lucky jeans right now.
Basketball is her favorite, as she says that the Wolves fan base really feels like a family.
The guys are just so great to each other, and oh my gosh, like when they all wore Dante's jersey, I was crying.
The former ballroom dance coach says painting has brought her back to herself.
I think I was obviously meant to be just doing art.
And now she hopes that joy carries into every jacket she creates.
To have people want to buy my work, wear it, and I get to do what I love. So it's very special.
Very cool. Okay, not good news. The Minnesota Wild are now out of the playoffs, but during their run, you may have seen that puck holder that they were putting the puck in every time they won a game. Well, now we're learning a little bit more about the fan who made the Stanley Cup shaped piece for the team. Here's Jessica Hart.
The loudest hockey fans live in the state of hockey.
Let's keep this thing going.
They're louder than usual this playoff series as the team looks to add another puck to their board.
It's incredible. I watched the videos and it just blows me away.
Matthew Lang
It's a huge honor.
is the guy who made the Wild Stanley Cup playoff puck holder.
Since they've become a team, I've been a fan.
All right, boys.
Over the years, he developed a relationship with the Minnesota Wild Foundation and Marcus Foligno, who asked him to make this year's puck holder.
You know, it's a dream come true. Not even a dream that I thought I'd ever have. Everything I make that I get the Wild logo on or that I give to the Wild, it's unreal to me.
Matt is self-taught.
Me. I did take classes in high school. Just 1 year.
More than a decade later, he started rough-sanded woodworking and works out of his garage.
I'm a maintenance mechanic at a power plant down in Cottage Grove. I do this at night. I always tell people I'm a wannabe woodworker because it's not my job.
A wannabe woodworker.
I just finished this. It's just a butcher block cutting board with a cherry inlay.
Who creates wooden pieces of his favorite team and for them.
I want to make unique items, and that doing it for the team, that gives me that ability.
A big milestone for Wild teammates and brothers Nick and Marcus Foligno. The two announced that they did reach their goal of collecting more than $200,000 for a breast cancer research grant at the Minnesota Masonic Cancer Center. The Foligno brothers started this mission in honor of their mother Janice, who died from breast cancer. Their effort turned into a friendly rivalry to raise the money whenever the Wild and Nick's former team, the Chicago Blackhawks, would face off.
I think we thank so many people for allowing us to be part of this and have this amazing moment, and it's just been really touching, I think, too, for us, because we've obviously have a story, but you get to learn so many other people's stories, and the money aside, it's amazing how many people are fighting the same fight we are and have the same.
The brothers say it was special for them to wrap up the Foligno face-off on Mother's Day and during the playoffs. They are, by the way, still taking donations. You can find that on their website. Still to come, the fan who saved Cleveland Browns legend Bernie Kosar's life, a community coming together for a 6-year-old boy, and a young man turning tragedy into his purpose. Welcome back. A 6-year-old Caldwell, Idaho boy has stolen the hearts of the Treasure Valley. Levi Hilias's mom invited the whole community to his party. Levi has been fighting leukemia, and his mom put the invite out on TikTok, and it went viral. Maggie O'Mara has that story.
Last summer, 5-year-old Levi Hilias got very sick. He was diagnosed with aggressive acute myeloid leukemia, AML, and he was flown to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis for treatment.
I'm building my tower.
In October, he received a bone marrow transplant. And after an incredibly difficult fight to feel well again,
pack your bags, get out the door, it's time for you to leave the floor.
Levi is now home in Caldwell with his family and in partial remission. That means there's currently no detectable cancer in his blood. He was about to celebrate his 6th birthday, but his immune system is compromised. So his mom, Ashley, decided to take to TikTok with a very special plea.
I'm just a desperate mom trying to make her son's birthday really special. For the last year, my son Levi has fought for his life in a hospital at St. Jude. This is where I need your help. If you are interested and you happen to live in the area, Nampa, Caldwell, Boise, anywhere, if you're willing to drive by between 2 and 3 p.m. on April 25th, yeah, it's just a desperate plea from a mom who's trying to throw together a birthday party for her kid, and I just think that he deserves to feel so loved and so special.
That video, it went viral fast. The invitation to Levi's party was shared all over the Treasure Valley. And when that Saturday arrived,
we've had some biker clubs, we've had the paramedics, we've had garbage trucks.
Get well soon.
We've had fire department, police, we've had Tri-Delta College.
Happy birthday, Levi! What's up, Levi? Let's go!
We've had basketball teams, hockey teams, we have had Dutch Bros deliver coffees.
Ashley couldn't believe her eyes.
We've had so many people show up and they just keep coming. I don't even know who else is going to show up, but it is just incredible.
Thank you.
This is incredible. I'm pretty sure the whole town of Caldwell showed up for you, bud. This is Homedale Police. Look, we got other cities to show up for you, buddy.
Levi was overjoyed.
How old are you turning? 6. Happy birthday. All right.
Levi got his very own happy birthday lawn sign, and he received piles of gifts from strangers who are now friends.
It's been a really long journey, and he's fought so hard to be here today, and I just want to thank everybody who's shown up from the community to make him feel so special. This is incredible, and I can't even put into words how much this means to us, so thank you.
Days after the party, Ashley and Levi were still all smiles. The love from so many strangers really started to sink in.
I have always believed that our community is amazing, but the way that you guys showed up for Levi just absolutely blew us away. Thank you to every single person who showed up for him, who shared our post, who made this happen. This was you.
Levi has something to say too.
That was the best birthday ever. There was so much cool cards.
To everyone who made Levi's day so memorable.
It is truly our amazing community who gave Levi the best birthday ever. Thank you so very much.
You are all Seven's heroes.
For cute sake. Well, now to a story out of Michigan. Sam Smalden was 16 years old, grabbing dinner after football practice when one moment changed everything. But 4 years later, what nearly took his life is helping him figure out what to do with it. Here's Riley Mack.
This was everything that we were learning.
Look inside the bag.
Here is a memo pad that I just wrote the quick notes that I could use.
Of Sam Smalden.
2 notebooks here.
You'd have no idea.
This is the book that I had to go through for all class.
That not long ago,
1,639 pages.
He didn't know what he wanted to do with his life.
Wasn't really
That is,
planning for after high school yet.
Until he nearly lost it.
As a sophomore, I don't remember that night at all. I texted my friend, and probably about 10 to 20 minutes later, I did not make it home.
Did not make it home to mom.
I was,
Jill Smalden.
I was in bed reading a book, and I got a call. It was the Ottawa County Sheriff. I called all my boys, and the only one that did not respond was Sam. So I knew something was wrong.
Skidded off the road on the left side into 4 trees. Knocked down all 4 trees and flew out of my car.
You hear Aeromed and you know that it's bad, right? When I saw him, I didn't know for sure it was my child. Just cuts and stitches and bruises and black eyes, and I mean, it was an image I will never unsee.
There was really no thought of me living.
For Sam, the road ahead looked short. Turns out it was just beginning.
I had to relearn how to walk, talk, eat, breathe even.
On day 100, we walked out of that hospital.
Jill had only one word for it.
It is a miracle. That is what everybody was calling it. We've spoken to physicians. They've said, maybe in my 30-year career, have I ever seen more than one handful of people that are in this shape after the kind of accident that child was in.
Blood pressure cuff.
Now back to that bag.
It was just a bag that was given for class.
The bag of a soon-to-be
Flashcards to prepare me for the test.
EMT.
I just passed the EMT class with Life EMS.
I just was so proud. I was so proud. He really wanted to do something to make a difference.
Here's a stethoscope.
Oh, it's a full circle. The EMTs are who kept him alive, and now he is one of those that can do the same for someone else.
Tomorrow was once uncertain.
This is just for CPR.
For Sam Smalden.
You have your compressions, the airway, and then breathing.
Now he's got his future.
Trauma shears.
In the bag.
It's just come all the way around.
Pretty proud that I was able to do that.
Sam is currently working as a tech at an ambulance garage. Next up, he'll take the National Registry before he begins his career as a full EMT. Well, it has been 6 months since 21-year-old Bryce Dunlap passed away. His liver is the one who saved Cleveland Browns legend Bernie Kosar. And for the first time, his parents are speaking out to Lindsey Buckingham about the boy behind the gift and the signs they say he sends them every single day.
Bryce Dunlap lived for moments like these.
Game over, boys!
Watching his favorite team.
He'd come over every Browns game. He was their biggest cheerleader.
With the people he loved the most.
He really enjoyed himself when he came over. I mean, he come over for the Super Bowl and the draft, and especially watched the Cavs, and he really got into it.
His friends were his people.
We keep in touch with some of his friends, so yeah, that's so hard.
They took big adventures together.
Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, in Canton.
Yet nothing was bigger than Bryce's heart.
Make you look.
He was born with it. It shined in everything he did. Baxter knew it best.
He just loved that dog more than anything. He was very good with all the animals.
Bryce's stepmom, Nicole, put into words what so many felt about him. His dad, Adam, heard it for the first time today.
He was so funny. The voices, the sayings, the way he could make a room laugh without even trying. Deeply sentimental and full of love. That's why we know without a doubt that Bryce is so proud of the lives he has saved through his organ donation.
It's right on. Yeah, he's something else.
6 months without him have both flown by and stood still.
I still have his work boots on the passenger side floorboard just to, have him in there. And it's tough. Every day you get in the truck and without him there, it just, rips my heart out. Doesn't get any easier.
No.
Especially, with his birthday.
Everything. Sorry.
I cry in the morning, I cry at night, and sometimes I go to the cemetery twice a day.
Bryce is finding ways to comfort them.
And every time I go there, it seems like the sun just is so bright. It could be a cloudy day and the sun just comes right out, and it's pretty neat.
And we've seen so many cardinals that we know it's him just coming and appearing. It's always at the right time.
When it came to giving, Bryce was limitless.
And he's had that on his license since day one. So all of his license had organ donation on it.
A decision that gave Bernie Kosar a new liver and a second chance at life.
So we are very happy and thankful that Bryce was able to help him. And just seeing that kind of gives us a little peace too.
We had a nice conversation yesterday. He called me in the morning and just wanted to see how I was holding up.
Every day is still a journey.
I know he wants me to keep going, and I'm trying. It's just tough.
Giving up is not an option, so they'll carry him forward one day at a time. His kindness, his smile, and his legacy of selflessness.
Every day we try to honor him by doing something just to keep that going.
He's a hero.
He is.
He's your hero.
Yes.
Lindsey Buckingham, 3 News.
Well, this week, the family painted rocks with Bryce's picture and the words organ donor, hiding them around the community for people to find and then pass along. Nicole says she wants to see how far Bryce can go. And today, Bernie Kosar wanted the family to know he was thinking of them on Bryce's birthday. He sent us this message.
The emotions and words are really hard to put into place over the last
5 months since my transplant, but on Bryce Dunlop's birthday yesterday, words can't describe the love and respect to have Bryce Dunlop inside of me right now. Yesterday's ceremony, today, Lindsay, what you're doing, bringing awareness to the awesomeness of the Dunlop family with the loss of their son, and the antithesis here of me being able to have such a vibrant life right now and the health because of Bryce and the Dunlop family. I really just can't thank you enough. My thoughts and prayers are so with you. You matter.
We told you some stories might make you cry. Well, that's all for your good news. We do hope this half hour gave you a little bit of joy today. And until we see you again, have an excellent week, friends.